Back again for another video. So on this video, I oftentimes don't know what to name things. I never think of these things ahead of time. I only think of the topic that I want to talk about. But as far as what to name them, jeez, I don't know. But anyways, this topic is going to be about why you should give your woman something to do. Okay, so coming up, well, let's just go with society. Society says that women shouldn't or don't have to do much in order to maintain the positions that they want in this world, whether it be relationships, whether it be at a job, whether it be even a mother. It doesn't matter. Any of the positions that women hold today, they try to keep the requirements fundamentally low. That's even the same for the military. I remember they have a separate, what they call PT test, which is a physical training test. This is where you do a series of exercises and they time you and record you on the amount and duration of the exercise. The numbers are different for men and women. Would you believe it? So like, for instance, I think the minimum requirement, it probably has changed. It's probably something different now, but the minimum requirement for a woman to actually pass a PT test for running, I think she has to run something like 18 minutes. For men, it's like 16. Yeah, you got to run faster because equality. Because I don't know, maybe bullets chase men faster or something. I don't know. But anyways, in this world, society, no matter where you go, not much is required of women. And it's so strange because women think the reality that they exist as a woman is the same reality that men share. Nope, it's not. What women find difficult and find very hard, men have to do this at a minimum a lot of times with different jobs, different circumstances. So like I said, it's so weird how society has been molded. But I totally understand it. I get where it comes from, but it's so weird that women by and large don't understand that. But anyways, this should be very different when it comes to you. Her position with you should be earned. It should be earned. My submissive, they have to earn things. They have to constantly be on the lookout for something to offer me. I have something that I implemented years ago, and I was never told to do this. This is just what I decided to do. That before you ask me for anything, you have to have something to offer beforehand. And it doesn't matter. It can be anything. It can be, I'll do this extra, or, I'll wake up a little earlier to accomplish this or something. There's got to be something. Or I don't give anything for free, because I already give so much. So to be asking for extra, you must want to do extra. But I'm going to tell you the benefits of doing this. There are the benefits of holding a woman accountable for her existence in your life. So it keeps her on her toes. Remember, a large part of female nature is scrutinization. If a woman has a lot of scrutiny to give you, it means that you simply have not gave her enough to do. It's almost like the saying that I grew up on is, when you bother your parents enough, or too much, they usually would say something like, you must need something to do. I'll give you something to do. That implies that if you got enough time on your hands to be a pester, then you have enough time on your hands to accomplish more. And that's essentially how women are. You have to almost look at women from a point of view of they need a certain level of caretaking, kind of like children, but not like children. It's different, of course, but they need a certain level of speciality to the care. Is much the same as women, or much the same as children. And that part of that care is actually keeping them occupied. And I don't necessarily mean that you need to entertain a woman all the time. No. But in order to, accomplish a successful relationship, in my opinion, with women, they need a job to do. Remember, things didn't used to be this way many, many, many years ago. Probably hundreds of years ago, maybe not even hundreds of years ago. There was a large responsibility that women had. I mean, because we came from a part of history that didn't have the Industrial Revolution. The caretaking of children was very important as well, because those are the children that were necessary in order to accomplish a lot of the things that pre-Industrial Revolution life had to offer, or required rather. So caretaking and being a house caretaker was a big portion of it. And then it turned into a more traditional thing, because once we had the advent of the Industrial Revolution, there was no more necessary output for caretaking of a large number of children. So it carried over as a tradition for a woman to operate in a capacity where she actually had a job at home. She had something to keep her occupied, something to do. Her job at home, her responsibilities were not easy a lot of times. This is the reason why we came up with the ironing board and the washing machines and all these other advents, so we can make their jobs a little bit more easier. But that has become hyper obsessive, because society still gives women these opportunities that will dwindle their responsibilities down further and further and further, while she still has the same nature, needing to be occupied. This has always been the same. No matter how far we have moved away from where we started as human beings, women have been occupied. Even back, I mean, they say different things about the hunter-gatherer colonies, or not colonies, but communities that we came from. But I tend to still believe the notion that, women did a lot of the caretaking. I mean, look at their biology. They have a more largely propensity to hold on to fat than men do. Why? Because they need this fat in order to caretake for children, to provide further resources in the times where there's no longer food, to provide breast milk and such like that, to provide warmth in times where there's cold. Men, we don't have a high predisposition to carry fat like women do, and that's biologically. So that would insinuate, throughout the history of human existence, women have been the most akin to children than men have. I mean, but of course, people will say, of course, that makes sense. She had the job, but no. I'm talking about in the responsibility. The responsibility is what I'm telling you about. The responsibility leads to the overall sentiment that I'm getting at, is that when women don't have a lot of responsibilities, she over scrutinizes, and that includes you. So it's very imperative for you as a man to not only have a position for a woman before she even comes in, but to always have something for her constantly. Now, that doesn't mean that she does not need a break, or she is a constant outputting machine or anything like that. It just simply means that it needs to be, she is a being that needs constant attention. And that attention comes by way of work sometimes. I mean, I naturally operate this way anyways, because I normally require women, based on the woman, but most women, they need this threshold of things to do. They need a purpose. They need a something to give them reason for existence in your space. And if you don't give them this, then you're kind of simping on it, because they'll start to view you as a pushover, not cognitively, but subconsciously. They will start to view you as someone who doesn't have their stuff together, someone who doesn't have a purpose or intent for them. And this will breed the disrespect. This will breed the look of incompetence. You know, they look at you like you're incompetent. It has many effects. I normally don't like to go down that road. I haven't been down that road in many years, but I've experienced it. And I used to always wonder why did these relationships deteriorate in such a way? Well, it's because the more and more as I became more and more in tune with who they were, I naturally started to give them less and less, or made things that they needed to do a lot easier, which in some cases it may be necessary in order for her to do more things or a different thing that you may need of her. But in no shape or form should you diminish a woman's responsibilities to the point where she now can pay more attention to scrutinizing you. Get what I'm saying? Keep her busy. She'll appreciate it. And I don't mean like to work her to death or make her work like a horse or nothing like that. No. I mean, actually actively put effort into cultivating her position in your life. She'll appreciate that because she'll feel like a team player, like she's necessary. She'll feel like her contribution of whatever you gave her to do was very necessary for the existence of the relationship. This is the way women like things naturally. Believe me, I figured it out the hard way, and now I know the right thing to do these days. But I hope this video makes sense to you guys. I mean, I like to think that sometimes I come across very clear and coherently, but I know that there are some times where things may not make sense. And like I said, at any time where you guys feel like anything that I'm saying is incoherent to the point where you don't understand it, that I may not be making sense and I'm talking in my own language to myself, just leave it in the comments. But anyways, like, comment, and share. This has been the Wolf in Beta Clothes. May you have a good day, and peace be with you.